What's up, Scar Nation community? Back again with another video. Let's go. So this is going to be one of them raw videos that might get shadow banned. It may not get pushed out in the algorithm, but it is what it is, man. Like when it comes to talking about this stuff, you got to keep it raw, man. You got to keep it real. I don't really know how to beat around the bush when it comes to talking about this stuff. So I just keep it real. I'll put my content out. And most of it gets shadow banned, but it is what it is. At least a few of y'all are going to get to see it. But in this video, I want to explain how I started using fentanyl, why I kept using it, and how did it feel. Okay, so how I started using fentanyl was basically, I found a pill in my car. You know, somebody had dropped a pill in my car. I found it. It looked familiar. It was the fake counterfeit pills, you know, the M-Box 30s blue. At the time, I had no idea about counterfeit pills, so I thought it was a prescription Roxy. I'm like, okay, cool. I bust it in half. I snort it. It fucks my world up. And then later on that night, I snort the other half. Rocks my world again. Now, it actually made me sick the first time I did it, but I remember liking the way it made me feel. Like I liked it. I did feel good, don't get me wrong. So the next day or a couple days later, I don't really remember. This has been like 3.5, 4 years ago at this point, because I'm a year and a half clean now, a little over a year and a half. So something like that, something like 4 years ago. I hit the girl up that dropped the pill in my car because I knew who did it. So I hit her up. I asked her if she could get some more. And boom, like that, it started. Now, for a few months, I still didn't know I was taking fentanyl. I didn't know these pills were fake. Had no clue until one day she told me. She said, you know, those pills you're getting that I'm getting for you, they're fentanyl. Like that's fentanyl. You're doing fentanyl. So by the time I found out that it was fent, I was like, okay, whatever. I've been taking them. I'm gonna keep taking them, right? So that's what I did. I kept taking them. I kept going down that road, you know, every weekend. Like for a while, it was a weekend thing. So I kept taking them, whatever. Now, that's how I started. Basically, why I kept going is because I had a lot of underlying issues that I wasn't dealing with. You know, I was very stressed out. I wasn't like serious about recovery. I didn't take recovery serious. I thought I could still dip and dabble in drugs because I had stopped using drugs once before when I was 26 years old, turned my life around, did a complete 180, gained a bunch of stuff back. But me not being serious about recovery, I thought I could still play around with these drugs. Later in my addiction, I would find out that I was wrong because it did end up spinning out of control. But at the time, that's why I kept doing it. I liked the way they made me feel. It was a great way for me to decompress. Whenever I was on it, I was the life of the party. I was in a good mood. I could go out and socialize with anybody. I just felt great. It was like the missing link of the puzzle to me. You know, that's kind of how I looked at it. Now, yeah, that's basically how I looked at it. Like it was just, I liked the way it made me feel. But it would end up spinning out of control because that's what addiction does. It starts out small and then it turns into a serious problem. That's what addiction is. So that's what happened for me. So we talked about why did I okay, how did it feel? That's what I said I was going to talk about. So how did it feel? What would be the best way to describe how it feels? I'm not going to lie. The first time I ever did fentanyl, it felt like a euphoria like you wouldn't believe. Almost like something too good to be true, because it is too good to be true. If you ever try this fucking shit, it's going to ruin your life. It's going to kill you. You don't want no part of this. So don't be looking at this thinking, oh, it feels that good. I'm going to go, no. You don't want this. You don't want that feeling. You don't want the feeling that fentanyl can give you. You don't want it. You might like it. And you know what's going to happen if you like it? It's going to take you, it's going to rip your fucking soul out and sell it to the devil. That's what it's going to do. You're going to completely become a slave to this shit. You don't want that, do you? Nah, you don't. I promise you, you don't. Because I'm somebody that's been there, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, I wished I would have never touched it. Never. But since I have touched it, I can talk about it. I can talk about my experiences. I made it out of it. I made it out. I made it through 6 overdoses. You understand what I'm saying? I made it out of that shit. And yeah, it felt good. It felt so good that I risked my life for it. You understand what I'm saying? You don't want no part of this. That's how good it felt to me. I risked my life for this shit. Every day. Didn't care if I lived or died. You don't want to feel this stuff, man. You don't want to know what it feels like. Plus, the first time you do it, it's going to make you sick as fuck anyways. You're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to really enjoy it. You're going to remember the feeling. First time you do this stuff, it's going to make you sick. You really ain't going to enjoy it. You don't want no part of this stuff, man. You don't want your mom getting a phone call the next morning that her son or daughter has passed away because they took fentanyl. You don't want that. You don't want that. So stay away from this stuff. It's no good. How I started using fentanyl, found a pill in my car. Why I kept using it, it was a good way to decompress. I was not serious about my recovery. I was not taking my recovery serious. How did it feel? It felt great. I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. To me, it felt great. And that's what it is, guys. Stay the hell away from this stuff. Do not ever touch it. And that's all I got for you. Scar Nation, stand up.